Okay, good, Gary. Okay. Good evening. Today is Monday, February 3rd, 2025. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Education. I'm going to just motion to call the meeting together. So I have a motion to convene the meeting. First, Scott. Second, Allison. All in favor? Okay. So our first is Pledge Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, welcome, everyone. We have a very special evening ahead. We're going to start with student representatives, so I'll hand it over to Dr. Goodman.
Okay, I know you're all excited to hear from the student representatives. We have great ones tonight, and then we're going to move the very special 10-year recommendation up also, because we know you're also excited about that. But let's start with our students. So first, I am very proud to introduce Ben Silvestri, a leader in our senior class who exemplifies determination, integrity, and a deep commitment to both academics and service. Ben is not only a role model among his peers, but is also someone who demonstrates incredible tenacity. When faced with academic challenges, he refused to back down. He put in the work, pushed himself, and then he really ultimately excelled, and he excelled very high. His perseverance and drive has positioned him well for this next chapter, where he is most likely headed to his first choice school, which is really a great school, Penn State, to study finance. When I asked him why finance, he gave an honest answer. He's very authentic, with a slight smile, and you know what he said? The money. Beyond the classroom, Ben is actively involved in a variety of clubs, including the Chess Club, Academic Quiz Bowl, Stock Club, Tuckahoe Fitness Club, and the Bloomberg Market Club. Very good. Whether he's strategizing in a chess match, taking complex academic challenges, or exploring the intricacies of finance, Ben approaches everything with enthusiasm and leadership. His impact extends far beyond academics. As a key player on our varsity football and baseball teams, Ben has demonstrated not only athletic skill, but also teamwork, resilience, and sportsmanship. His ability to lead by example, both on and off the field, is something that truly sets him apart. Equally impressive is Ben's dedication to serving others. He has volunteered extensively, from preparing meals for those in need to organizing a special needs prom and leading a coat drive for families facing hardships. His kindness, humility, and commitment to making a difference have left a lasting mark on our school community. Ben Silvestri is an exceptional young man, intelligent, hardworking, and genuine. It is my privilege to introduce him tonight as he presents our educational update to the board and the community. Ben?
This on? Oh, is it good?
Oh, wait, make sure that red.
Good?
Is it on? He's good? Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Goodman. It's great. First of all, thank you, congrats, Mr. C. You're a great guy. So here's the school update. JA Day is set to return to Tuckahoe High School and will be held on Wednesday, March 19th. JA Day is a great opportunity to develop leadership, public speaking, and teamwork skills while earning community service hours. Don't miss out on the chance for growth and mentorship. Senior internship meetings with Ms. Mosa have officially begun, and seniors are working and finding their mentors and sites. The 20 and 25 reading challenge is off to a great start. The first Books and Bites meeting is on Friday, February 7th in the library during lunch. At that time, we will review more about the program, share books we have been reading, and have a sweet treat, generously sponsored by the PTA. On Saturday, January 25th, 2025, the Tuckahoe Middle School debate team traveled to Dalton in New York City for an exciting day of debate. Competing alongside top teams, Tuckahoe proudly brought 7 teams to the tournament, showcasing their hard work, critical thinking, and passage for debate. The team of Lynn and Connolly went 3-1, with their only loss coming from the team that won the tournament. And on Saturday, January 25th, 2025, the Tuckahoe High School debate team participated in its 3rd official lead debate of the season, hosted at Applied Tech High School in Paramus, New Jersey. as a part of the ESU East Coast High School Debate Program. Competing against 7 other teams, our students demonstrated skill, poise, and teamwork throughout the day. We're thrilled to announce that Victoria Jelli earned the top speaker recognition for our team. Our team secured 4th collective debate round wins through the tournament. And next week, Tuckahoe Middle School is excited to welcome a guest speaker from the My Sister's Place organization for a special workshop of healthy relationships. The speaker will visit social study classrooms, providing a tailored experience for the grade level. The workshop will cover essential topics, including the elements of healthy relationships too. This is important curriculum aims to empower students with the knowledge and resources needed to recognize and address relationships in a healthy and informed way. We are thrilled to announce that Tuckahoe High School has been selected as a sponsor site for the prestigious International Save a Life Tour this spring. The Save a Life Tour, which has been presented at the Pentagon, offers a powerful and impactful experience for students focusing on critical driving topics such as distracted driving, impaired driving, seatbelt usage, and the importance of proper driver behavior. And finally, the Tuckahoe Ski Club, which I was actually a part of, held its 2 annual trips this winter season and were both a great success. The first trip was to Bel Air and the second was Catamount. Over 50 students attended both trips. Thank you to Mr. Sweeney and Mr. O'Connell for chaperoning and making this event possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce an exceptional student, athlete, and future healthcare professional, Sophia DePetito. Sophia is the kind of student who not only excels in every area she pursues, but also elevates those around her with her positivity, work ethic, and leadership. She is a vital part of our school community, and I am honored to highlight her many achievements tonight. Academically, Sophia is an outstanding student, earning membership in both the National Honor Society and the Italian Honor Society. Balancing rigorous coursework with extracurricular involvement, she manages to maintain high academic standards while also working, volunteering, and cultivating strong, lasting friendships. Her ability to juggle so many responsibilities while remaining dedicated and engaged is a testament to her discipline and her character. Athletically, Sophia has been instrumental to the success of our volleyball program. Her dedication to the sport goes beyond just playing. She is a true leader on the court. Competing both for our school team and in highly competitive leagues outside of school, she has sharpened her skills and developed a deep understanding of the game. Sophia's presence on the team has been a driving force in their success. She embodies the perfect balance of competitive fire and team-first mentality, bringing energy, focus, and resilience to every match. More importantly, she is a teammate who lifts others up, setting the standard for hard work, sportsmanship, and camaraderie. Her impact on the program will be felt long after she graduates. Beyond academics and athletics, what truly sets Sophia apart is her unwavering commitment to make a difference in the lives of others. She has chosen to pursue a career in nursing, one of the most selfless and demanding professions. Nursing is not just a career, it is a calling requiring intelligence, compassion, resilience, and a deep sense of purpose. Sophia possesses all of these qualities and more. Her dedication to enter this field speaks volumes of the kind of person she is, someone who is driven not only by personal success, but a desire to serve, support, and heal others. Next year, Sophia will take the next step in her journey at the University of Tennessee, where she will study nursing. Given her dedication, passion, and ability to balance excellence in so many areas, there is no doubt that she will be incredibly successful. Sophia?
There are many events that are upcoming within our athletic department, and it is hard to believe that our winter athletic season is nearly complete and playoffs are on the horizon. We begin by thanking the entire school community for coming out to support the varsity basketball teams in the Augie Nardone Scholarship Basketball Night held at Eastchester High School. The stands were packed and the teams did not disappoint on the court. Our girls team defeated crosstown rival Eastchester, while our boys battled hard ultimately falling by 6 points. Prior to the Augie Nardone event, our athletic department hosted a winter pep rally honoring our winter athletics teams, while also hosting the first ever THS Battle of the Classes event. After the dust settled, the seniors came out on top. Last weekend, our varsity boys basketball team participated in the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic event at Mahopac High School. Our team defeated Haldane by a score of 50-31. We also congratulate Coach Nicodemo for achieving his 100th victory. This upcoming week, we'll be hosting major events. On Tuesday night, we will be hosting the National Showcase for our varsity and JV cheerleading teams as they prepare to head down to Disney for Nationals in Orlando, Florida. The event begins at 7 p.m. in the high school gym. On Wednesday, we will celebrate Tuckahoe's second annual National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. Please come out for the pregame ceremony beginning at 4:30 p.m. and then stay to cheer on our varsity girls basketball team as they battle Woodlands. Additionally, we will also hold many senior games this week, including cheerleading on Tuesday, February 4th, bowling and ice hockey on Thursday, February 6th, and boys basketball on Saturday, February 8th. Congratulations to Owen Gertzen for qualifying for states in varsity boys swimming. He will be traveling to Ithaca in March with our merged Mount Vernon Tuckahoe swim team. Also, big congrats to Dylan Rigby for qualifying for sectionals. Finally, a big shout out to our bowling team, who is presently undefeated and is well positioned for a league title and sectional championship for the first time in school history. We will be back with more winter playoff updates and spring sports registration information in the upcoming weeks.
I want to thank our two very talented student representatives tonight, and I will let you go home to study, because I know that's what you want to do. And unless you want to see Mr. Calaswano, it's up to you. But that's the next thing to go. But you guys can go or you can stay for a minute. They love you, but they have homework. And we love that you have homework and that you want to do it.
Good job. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Goodman. So next on our official agenda is budget, but I'm going to spare everyone here the budget. Just kidding. I know you want it. You can stay. You're welcome to stay. It's after. So we're going to skip to tenure. So I'm going to skip to number 4, confer tenure. We're going to vote. So Dr. Goodman is going to say a few words, and then we'll do the vote, okay? And I just wanted to say that I'm filling in for Pete Casson, the president, this evening because he unfortunately couldn't be here. He has a business trip, so I'm happy to fill in for him, and he's very much wants to send his support, and he was very much in favor. So, okay, I'll hand it over to you, Dr. Goodman.
Okay, well, tonight's very special to me, and it is with the highest level of confidence and enthusiasm that I recommend Mr. Andrew Calaswano for tenure as assistant principal of Tuckahoe Middle and Tuckahoe High School. Mr. Calaswano's exceptional dedication, strong work ethic, and deep-rooted commitment to the Tuckahoe school community are evident in every aspect of his leadership. His ability to foster meaningful relationships with students, faculty, staff, administrators, and families is exceptional. Above all, he consistently places the well-being and success of students at the center of his work. One of the things I think about Andrew is his authentic commitment to this school community. Mr. Calaswano's presence is felt throughout our school community. He is a visible and engaged leader at school functions, including major events like homecoming, pep rallies, and color wars, as well as meaningful programs such as the 9/11 Assembly and Memorial Day School Community Event. His coordination of PTA meetings, middle school fun nights, the art show, and various extracurricular activities reflect his dedication to fostering a vibrant and inclusive school culture. His collaboration with local organizations, including the police and fire departments, and even the students talked about My Sister's Place, and all the community partners he makes, enhances events and ensures students and families and our community feels connected and supported. Again, I think one of the main things about Andrew is his student-centered leadership. Mr. Calaswano is distinguished by his consistent focus on student success and well-being. His leadership in implementing a restorative approach to student discipline, serving as a DASA and Title IX officer, and chairing 504's meetings demonstrates his commitment to creating safe and inclusive learning environments. His expansion of Rethink Ed initiative and health and wellness programs further reflects his thoughtful approach to supporting students' mental and physical health. Whether organizing assemblies on internet safety and healthy relationships or leading the development of the middle school master schedule, his decisions consistently prioritize students' best interests. The other piece I always think when I think about Andrew is his innovative program development. Mr. Calaswano has significantly enhanced our academic and extracurricular programs. His leadership in developing the health and physical education curriculum and introducing new courses such as Strategies for Success and Public Speaking has enriched our instructional offerings. His vision of the athletic program has led to an addition of 10 new athletic teams, a 20% increase in student participation, and recognition of Tuckahoe High School at NIFSA School of Distinction for consecutive years. His efforts to improve athletic facilities and his ability to hire some of the best coaches who are even here tonight really show his work ethic. He has improved our athletic facilities, promote athletic wellness, and elevate school spirit, and have made a lasting impact on our district. He has been a partner in all educational initiatives. Another part, I know this is a little long, but I have a lot to say. Another piece of Andrew is his exceptional communication and collaboration. Mr. Calaswano is a skilled communicator who prioritizes keeping the community informed and engaged. He manages the district's athletic social media accounts, curates weekly event updates, and collaborates on parent communications, fostering transparency and school-family connections. His collaborative work with faculty, staff, and administrators has earned him respect and trust. His guidance through the APPR process and support of professional development demonstrate his commitment to staff growth and excellence. Mr. Calaswano, as you all know, is a true asset to Tuckahoe. Mr. Calaswano's contribution goes beyond his official responsibilities. He actively participates in all aspects of school life, from chaperoning student trips to advising clubs and organizing community events. His leadership in wellness and equity initiatives, oversight of major events, and support of student leadership opportunities highlight his dedication to making Tuckahoe a place where every student feels valued and empowered to succeed. Mr. Calaswano exemplifies the qualities of an outstanding educational leader. His tireless efforts, collaborative spirit, and student-centered mindset have profoundly impacted our schools. It is with the utmost confidence that I recommend Mr. Andrew Calaswano for tenure as assistant principal in the middle school and high school of student support, extracurriculars, and athletics. His continued leadership will undoubtedly support our school's progress and ensure that every learner's needs are met with care and excellence. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Goodman. So with that, I am going to resolve that the Board of Education hereby confers tenure upon Andrew Calaswano in the tenure area of Assistant Principal with the title of Assistant Principal of Student Services and Athletics, effective February 3rd, 2025. Do I have a motion? Allison, second. Scott? Does anybody want to, I would actually, anyone make a comment before we do all in favor? And Scott, start down there? No? Oh, I just want to congratulate. Well, we're going to take vote, but it's our comment section. I just would like to say from myself personally, my children, all three have really benefited from Mr. Calaswano, and his dedication is just illustrated by this room, that's standing room only. Not only administrators, teachers, parents, support staff. It's truly a testament to your dedication, not only just to the district, but to the students, and everybody can certainly feel that in this room. So thank you so much, and with that, all in favor? All right, great, congratulations.
Mr. I don't know if you were prepared, but you said you're always kind of prepared.
We're putting you on the spot.
Okay, we would like a few words, and thank you for all you do for our school.
Thank you, Dr. Goodman. Thank you. Good evening. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Goodman and this Board of Education for the trust and support you've shown in granting me tenure this evening. It's an incredible honor to continue serving this community that, as Dr. Goodman said, I've truly come to care for so deeply over the years. Reaching this milestone is something I don't take lightly, and I am truly grateful for the confidence you've placed in me. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to the teachers, staff, coaches, colleagues, administrators, and community members that are here tonight. Your dedication, passion, and teamwork are truly what make this such a special place to work and learn. Every day, I am inspired by your hard work and commitment as we collaborate to ensure the ongoing success and well-being of our students. Thank you once again for this amazing opportunity. I'm excited to continue this journey with all of you as we work to build an even brighter future for our students and our community. Thank you.
I feel like telling you all, everybody go home, do homework now. Okay, all right, okay, so we're going to, next item on the agenda is for budget development update.
Thank you all for coming out for Andrew, and if you want to stay, it's interesting. It's not as exciting, but it's up to you. Have a great night. Okay, we're going
All
to get
right.
started, so if you're leaving, have a great night.
Thank you all for coming.
Okay, and I thank the people who stayed to listen to this great presentation. So the smartboard's over there. Can you guys see it okay? Okay. And you could get up, make yourself comfortable. So this is really the Faith
Everyone
Spark show,
left.
but I want to say a few things to just get us started off. So as we begin our discussion on budget development for the 25-26 school year, it is important to recognize the financial landscape that will shape our planning. Tonight, Ms. Sparks will walk us through the revenue forecast, highlighting the factors influencing our district financial outlook. With declining enrollments, shifts in state aid formulas, and increasing local cost pressures, we must take a strategic approach to ensure a responsible and sustainable budget. This presentation will provide insight into our anticipated revenue sources and set the stage for the critical decisions that lie ahead. I'll now turn it over to Ms. Sparks to guide us through the details.
As we plan for the I'm off now. Okay. As we plan for the upcoming fiscal year, it is important to recognize the key revenue sources that fund our district. Our largest source of revenue is local property taxes, which provide the foundation for our budget. State aid follows as the second largest source, supporting our programs and operations. Both of these revenues are capped by New York State. We also generate through other miscellaneous revenues such as non-resident tuition from special education programs and general education programs that we operate. And a smaller portion comes from miscellaneous local sources such as interest earning and facility use fees. Additionally, we budget an appropriated fund balance to help balance the budget, though historically we have not needed to use these funds due to careful financial management. The implementation of the tax cap has fundamentally changed the way school districts and municipalities approach budgeting. Before the tax cap, districts would first determine their expenditure needs and then set the tax levy according to fund those needs. Today, in regions like ours, where the majority of revenue comes from real property taxes, we must take the opposite approach. We first calculate our allowable revenue under the tax cap and then build our budget within those constraints. This shift requires careful planning to ensure that we continue to meet student needs while maintaining fiscal responsibility. Our preliminary tax cap calculation begins with the prior year's tax levy, which is the current year. I say prior year, but it's the current year, of $31,842,132. This amount is then adjusted by the tax-based growth factor, which is set annually by New York State. For the 25-26 school year, the tax-based growth factor is 1.0023, and this reflects brick and mortar growth within our tax base. Next, we adjust for payments in lieu of taxes, adding back the prior year's pilot. It's payment in lieu of taxes is called pilot, and subtracting the prior year's capital exclusions. Once these adjustments are made, we apply an inflation rate. While the actual inflation rate for 2025-26 is 2.95%, the tax cap formula limits us to a maximum of 2%. This is where we hear the 2% cap. It's the inflation rate is capped at 2%. Following this, we subtract the 25-26 projected pilot revenue, and we add back our 25-26 capital exclusions, and a capital exclusion is the debt for capital projects less building aid. Yes, so once we do that, we get to an allowable tax levy for 25-26 of $32,778,226, which represents a 2.94% increase, or $936,094 compared to the prior year. Again, this is the maximum allowable amount we could set. It's not what is being proposed right now. It's just we calculate our maximum amount. And it's still tentative. We are awaiting final pilot numbers for 25-26 from the town. So it's just an estimate right now, but that's around where we will be. If the pilot for next year is higher, it will lower the allowable levy. If it's less, it will just raise that 2.94%. I don't anticipate it being a big difference once we get the final number. It's important to note that each district's cap calculation is unique. Variables that I mentioned, such as the tax-based growth factor, pilot agreements, capital exclusions, vary from district to district. Some districts don't even have a pilot in their district. The only consistent factor across all districts is that inflation rate, which remains capped at 2%. This is why one district may have an allowable levy increase of 4%, and another will have an allowable levy increase of just 1%, yet both remain in compliance with the law. On to our state aid. The governor released the executive budget on January 21st, 2025, and introduced key initiatives that will impact school districts across the state. One of the most significant proposals is the expansion of universal free meals, ensuring that all students have access to breakfast and lunch at no cost. This initiative aims to combat food insecurity, support student well-being, and improve learning outcomes by removing financial barriers to nutrition. Another major focus is the Distraction-Free Schools Initiative, which includes smartphone usage restrictions during the day. The governor's budget allocates $13.5 million to assist districts with the implementation of these policies, which require that schools adopt formal policies banning student device use during instructional time. The goal is to enhance student focus, reduce distractions, and foster a more engaged learning environment. As districts prepare to implement these changes, we need to consider logistics, policy implications, ensuring compliance while balancing student and family needs. And I'm very excited about the prospects of universal meals, I must say. Continuing with state aid, as a result of the Rockefeller Institute study, New York has implemented new metrics to determine foundation aid, impacting how aid is distributed to districts. One major change is the shift from outdated 2000 census poverty data to the small area income poverty estimates. This update allows for a more accurate current reflection of poverty levels within school districts, ensuring that funding is based on more relevant economic conditions. Additionally, the method for identifying economically disadvantaged students has evolved. Instead of using only free and reduced price lunch data, the state now relies on economically disadvantaged data, which is determined through direct certification measures. This transition aims to more accurately capture students in need, particularly as changes in community eligibility provisions have made free and reduced price lunch data less reliable. Finally, this maximum state sharing ratio has increased from 91% to 93%, meaning the highest need districts may receive a slightly greater share of aid. This adjustment reflects the state's effort to better support districts with the most financial challenges. These changes have varying impacts across districts, with some districts seeing increases in aid and others that would normally not see an increase in aid are seeing the governor did not get rid of same harmless, are seeing a 2% increase. So if a district was either going to have a reduction in aid or a flat change, they're getting 2%. So very different from what was originally proposed last year. So this is just a summary of the governor's proposed budget for Tuckahoe for our state aid. Tuckahoe is slated to receive an 11.66% increase in foundation aid, amounting to $402,655, one of the largest increases in our region. I just have to say that our superintendent, Dr. Goodman, was a huge advocate for a lot of the changes that were in the Rockefeller report and in the governor's budget. She really fought for more current data to be used that really tells the true story of our district of Tuckahoe. So thank you. While this increase in foundation aid is significant, after we account for a rollover budget and set-asides for salary increases, we are likely to break even. Unfortunately, our expenses are growing at a much faster rate than our revenues. We're also showing an increase in transportation aid. So transportation aid is a expense-driven aid, so you have to spend the money to get the money, and we are spending more in transportation, which means we are getting more money in aid. But we also optimized our bus routes, ensuring that the maximum number of allowable pupils are on each route. We worked with BOCES on this, and this efficiency has reduced our non-allowable pupil decimal, thereby further increasing our transportation aid. While it looks like we are getting an increase in our UPK grant aid, it's not an increase. The current 24-25 number that you see is just for the 40 students we are serving. Our regular funding is for 58, which is shown in 25-26, but then we only have capacity for 40 students. So it just, last year they were going to give us $315,900 for the school year, but because we can only serve 40, it shows that in 24-25 we're only getting $215,999, but that's only because that's all we can serve. The building aid number shown in the governor's proposal does not include aid for recently closed out projects. So when we are working on our budget, we are using a higher number. We work with our financial advisors, and we are projecting $517,000 for building aid for projects that are closed out yet not reflected in this number. And then the instructional materials aid, they increase and decrease based on enrollment and actual expenditures from the prior year. So seeing a decrease in instructional material aids for textbooks and hardware is not surprising, being that our enrollment is going down. Now we move on to local revenues. So one notable change in this year's budget presentations is the inclusion of more detailed and expanded information. You will see we are including budget codes or account numbers and more comprehensive descriptions to provide greater clarity and transparency. This update comes as part of our Finance Committee's review of budget presentation formatting, ensuring that stakeholders have a clearer understanding of how funds are allocated and utilized. We believe these enhancements will improve communication and make the budget process more accessible to everyone. One of the first items on our local revenue is the pilot. So where we are subtracting it from our tax cap, we are adding it as revenue. And these are Pilots are payments in lieu of taxes, which are agreements with certain property owners, typically businesses or developers. The agreements established are through economic development agencies, and they vary by districts, with some districts might not even have it. And their revenue fluctuates based on the terms of these agreements, and they impact our tax cap. Another large local revenue source is county sales tax revenue, which is distributed from the county based on a formula, and it goes to school districts. This revenue source is not directly controlled by the district and can vary from year to year based on economic conditions, consumer spending, and sales tax collections at the county level. You'll also see on this list day school tuitions from individuals, those are parentally placed students, and day school tuition from other districts, which these are our non-resident students that come to us from other districts. You'll also see interest earnings on this list, rental of real property, that's when we rent out our facilities, insurance recoveries, some refunds of prior year expenses, gifts and donations, and other unclassified revenues. We also get Medicaid assistance that we file for, which is it's a federal revenue, and it's pretty large for us. So overall, our 2025-26 revenue forecast, when we look at it, it's important to recognize that school districts have limited ways to generate revenue. The majority of our funding comes from the real property taxes and state aid. For the 2025-26 school year, our preliminary revenue forecast reflects the constraints we face under the tax cap formula and the unpredictability of state aid allocations. While we continue to explore all available revenue resources, our ability to generate additional funds is restricted by regulations and economic conditions. As we move through the budget development process, we will continue to refine these revenue projections and ensure we are making the most of our available resources while maintaining a responsible and balanced approach to financial planning. This slide highlights our preliminary revenue forecast, which currently estimates revenues before the inclusion of appropriated fund balance at approximately $42,061,791. At this time, we do not anticipate being able to reduce our reliance on appropriated fund balance to balance the budget. However, we are still refining our expenditure projections, which will help determine if any adjustments can be made. As we analyze our budget needs, we remain committed to maintaining a responsible and sustainable financial plan for the district. Lines marked with an asterisk on this chart are still preliminary and under review, such as the real property taxes. The board can set a levy below the tax cap, at the tax cap. If the board were to want to go over the tax cap, which I don't think they do, it would require a supermajority vote. To be determined is still appropriated fund balance and appropriated reserves, payments in lieu of taxes. Tuition from other districts, we're still working on looking at our placements and state aid. The governor's final budget doesn't come out till April 1st.
Okay. Great job, Faith. She's the only business person who's ever been able to explain this to me, so I give you a lot of credit. As you can see, we have several important dates in the budget review process. Our next budget update will be presented on February 24th, 2025, where we will provide more detailed information on expenditures. The superintendent's proposed budget will be presented on March 10th, 2025, followed by the additional budget reviews on April 22nd, 2025, and April 29th, 2025. On April 22nd, 2025, the Board of Education will adopt the final proposed budget, ensuring that it aligns with the district's needs and priorities before being presented to the community for consideration. On May 5th, 2025, the district will hold a budget hearing, providing the community with an opportunity to learn more about the proposed budget, ask questions, and understand its impact. To ensure transparency, we will also send out the budget newsletter and other information materials to keep residents informed. We encourage all stakeholders to stay engaged throughout the process as we work together to develop a budget that best serves our students and community. Now, May 20th, 2025 is the budget vote and Board of Education election. This is the most important date in the process. On this day, residents will cast their vote on the proposed budget and elect members to the Board of Education. Voter preparation is essential, as the outcome will determine the financial plan and the budget members for the upcoming school year. We encourage all residents to stay informed and engaged throughout the process. Community input is invaluable in ensuring that the budget reflects the needs and priorities of our students and schools. Again, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone involved in this important process. First and foremost, I have to thank Faith Sparks. She works very hard on it, and she's a true partner with me, and she cares a lot about the education of all students. Developing a thoughtful and responsible budget requires collaboration, careful planning, and commitment to balancing the needs of our students, staff, and taxpayers. I appreciate the work of our administrators, staff, Board of Education, of course, and also I'd like to thank the Finance Committee. They are really instrumental in helping us create this budget. And of course, I thank our taxpayers for listening to this and being supportive of us for so long. I appreciate the work of everybody, and your support and participation continues to be essential in ensuring that we make the best decisions for our schools and our students. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to continuing the conversation as we move through the budget process. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Goodman. Ms. Sparks? Hey, great job. Okay, well, we're going to do comments next, so if anybody wants to, any questions regarding the presentation, feel free to do that. So we're going to move on to comments by the board, so we'll start with you.
Yep. So first, regarding the superintendent search, as a board, we'd like to thank the community for attending the district Zoom meeting in person that was here in the building last week, and all the feedback you provided to district-wise that goes into which then presents back to the board. So we appreciate the community members stepping up and really coming in. It's important that we heard from all the staff, teachers, students for your input. So thank you. The final applications for the new superintendent search get closed yesterday. We also received back 209 community responses to the surveys they went out that we kept seeing go out every week. So the feedback was that we compile that data for district-wise, and they report back to us on what the community is looking for in the next superintendent. As far as next steps right now, the search committee is beginning the interview process of select candidates, and then we'll report back after that. So thank you.
Thank you. Allison?
I have two committees to report on. The first is the Finance Committee. A lot that Faith already said. Thank you so much, Faith, for all of the work that you put into the budget and the presentation. Tonight, we are presenting the first reading of our updated board policy for budget transfers. This policy will enhance the board's oversight and our fiscal responsibility, which is primary role of the Board of Education. The committee worked very hard collaboratively to analyze the appropriate limits for this policy, and I'm glad that we are updating it. It was a goal that I had wanted. And thank you, Faith and Beata, for doing all the research into it and creating it. As Faith had mentioned during the budget presentation, she has done an enormous amount of work to create our new budget platform, and it is going to be so detailed. It's amazing when you really look at it. Our goal was to be more transparent and more informative to the taxpayer, and I really hope that's what the new platform will do. She even created a glossary of important terms that we use during the budget process, and just really explaining everything and how school finances work and all the detail that goes into what it takes to run this district financially. She did an amazing, amazing job on it. It is more than I could have imagined, more than I've ever seen in any other school district. It's really fantastic. Thank you. And that's about it. You know, we're just in the middle of the budget process, and you said a lot of what I was going to say, so thank you. Next thing, if you could just bear with me for a second, is the Policy Committee. Policy Committee, we met last week again. The policy that we are working on is a food delivery policy. This is following a suggestion from the Safety Committee where local police and security consultants raised concerns about the Uber drivers and food service delivery drivers entering the building. The policy agreed that the driver should not be, the Policy Committee agreed with the Safety Committee that drivers should not be allowed in the building. Both committees agreed that the driver shouldn't be allowed and that teachers, as well as 11th and 12th grade students, would meet drivers outside of the building. To gather the information, we interviewed students. Mr. Arthur and Dr. Goodman met with the high school and middle school grade GO officers to hear their perspective. And our policy committee has various stakeholders. And everybody agreed that this was the way that the policy should go. So Dr. Goodman is going to work with our attorneys and draft up a policy that limits non-school affiliated individuals from entering campus and prohibiting food deliveries to enhance student safety. Once the policy is drafted, Dr. Goodman will present it to the board for review.
So just to piggyback off of that, I'm on the safety committee with Pete Casson, who's the president. Both Pete and I do have law enforcement background. Pete FBI, I'm retired Organized Crime Control Bureau Narcotics in Manhattan, undercover detective. So we have background when it comes to this kind of stuff. And this was something that I thought about of this delivery. So I know there's a lot of, I just want to put some stuff out in the community right now that I saw some stuff I didn't like, and nothing bad was happening, and we can't obviously talk about that, but just safety of the kids and obviously the administrators and teachers and staff in the building to limit exposure of something possibly happening. So I went to Amy, and Amy said, you know what, let's I give a lot of credit to Amy, put herself out there and said, okay, how do we bring this forward to the board and the safety committee? So we talked about this initially on the safety committee with Sue Warnos, who's on it, myself, Scott DeBellis, Amy Faith, Eastchester Police Department, Tuckahoe Police Department, and Alteris. We then decided as a board to start a policy committee to look at policies like this. And as Allison said, all stakeholders then of that policy committee agreed with our feedback, being on the safety committee, that this was the best approach going forward. And one of the reasons is these Uber delivery and DoorDash, when you sign up as a driver, they get a cell phone. And the person that's being vetted for Uber Eats and DoorDash sometimes will give that phone to someone else to use their vehicle or their moped or their bicycle, and they become the driver. That person is then not gone through a system of background checks, and there you go. A student of ours is going outside, they're coming in, whatever they're doing. So to mitigate this risk, this is our policy going forward, and hopefully we'll see how it works. Try to keep, we think the less people in the building, of course, is always better for the students, and of course some people aren't going to like it, but safety is a priority. I know it's one of mine, that's for sure. I know Allison and the board. So hopefully it goes well over the when we implement it. So thank you, Dr. Godin, for it. I appreciate it.
So is that a policy then that's going to be drafted up and put on next?
I'm going to try to get it. I just told our attorney about it and asked her to draft it. I gave her all the information that we discussed tonight, so that'll be something that'll be presented, for different readings.
And I don't think we figured out yet if, because there's also could be, I think we have to look into this. We talked about is, do the students go outside and get it? Is the food left outside and get it? Because then there still poses some risk of that, right? Because I know when my kids order food to their house, we deliver it to the front door. They're not allowed to open the front door. I don't like to open the front door sometimes. I don't know who's coming in, right? So that's something we're still looking into as well. If the student, 11th or 12th grade, can actually go outside. Now, a teacher, a parent, you're older, you're not a minor, but that's something we need to look into, whether it's a drop box outside, does it left somewhere? So I think that's just one fine thing we're tuning with the Alteris and the police department. And just one more update on while I'm on safety. We're also looking into, I know Faith has done a great job with the budget with cameras. We're going to be implementing, obviously we can't talk about where they're going, but some additional camera footage and security within the building to protect, obviously, the teachers and the faculty and students as well. So, thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Yep.
Is there
Sorry
any
for the long
comment
rant.
or facility reports?
Well, Health and Wellness meets next week, 12th, and, oh, sorry. Health and Wellness meets on the 12th of February, next week. Dr. Calaswano just had that, and as, you know, Dr. Goodman mentioned, Sister's Place is coming in. That was his initiative, focusing on fostering positive relationships, and I think it's really important for the students' social and emotional well-being and kind of navigating all the types of relationships they'll come across through their lives in school, social media, all of it. So I guess my only other comment is that I was actually excited to see that the governor has taken such a stand on that with cell phone use in the school building, during instructional time, but really all time, because I feel like we've done our kids such a disservice in having that be their primary way of communicating and socializing with one another, that it makes me really wonder what the future will look like, and not just school buildings, but workplaces and everywhere else. So was really happy to see that, there's being a strong stand taken on it, because I know we as a community, the majority, I'm sure not everybody, agrees, is in line with that.
Definitely good to see. All right, thanks, Rose. I would just finish with thanking Faith, Beata, and the whole business office and Dr. Goodman for an excellent job with the budget, but then also the other, just a couple of things that even before I was on the board, I think I was on a committee maybe 15 years ago about foundation aid. And so that's been a topic that has been constantly, we were always under, I don't know, what was the word you looked, the budget, it was always, a couple of percentage points, and we were always trying to fight for more. So this is really a really good news for our taxpayers, that we're getting a little more money and we can not levy as much. But also just the hard work of Dr. Goodman and Faith working on getting that foundation aid is really something that has been long coming. So thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on. That's our comments by Superintendent.
Okay, just a little bit on some of what you all said, because I feel like the kids did it. I said enough tonight. But first of all, I really love the way our board committees are working, and how even the safety and the policy committee are working together. Things that we're saying are happening next week from the wellness committee. It's really such a well-oiled machine, the way we're doing this. Even the way we are working together with Finance Committee, I know has been incredibly helpful in the budget development. So I just want to thank the board for their involvement. One of the things with the budget, I just want to make clear, she didn't necessarily do the free meal thing like we're hoping she does. Like, that could be sliced off, but I think that's one of the most important things she has, because not everybody is on free and reduced lunch, but to have lunch and buy lunch for your children, if you have like 3 kids or 2 kids, or even more, that really does add up with all the other things that you do for your children. So I'm really hoping for that. And I'm totally in favor of the cell phone usage thing. There are people that aren't. Like, this is still being discussed amongst the superintendent groups, believe it or not. But we have taken, I love when we're ahead of the curve and we do before anybody else does it, like we did with the science of reading, like we did with project-based learning that they're all talking about now in this. Because I think we're a very forward-thinking school community, and I appreciate all your support with that.
Thank you, Dr. Goodman. Okay, comments by Faith, business manager?
So we haven't had a facilities committee meeting yet. We did open bids for the next phase of the capital project work. We're still analyzing the bids. We're having contractors do walkthroughs, being very thorough, making sure they didn't miss anything. And hopefully we'll be awarding soon, and we'll bring the committee back. We did appoint new architects, so we will be looking at a future building condition survey and just what there's still a lot more to do. So we'll be working with these new architects, which is exciting, and there'll be more information in our upcoming budget presentations about this. We will be posting on our website in the budget section a glossary of terms that you hear us use a lot during presentations, a lot of acronyms, and it'll just give a lot of explanations. And our budget document that will come out after the board adopts the budget will have a lot more narratives explaining each section of the budget. There'll be more details such as our budget codes, and there'll just be a lot more information, and we're excited for the community to see it.
Yeah, it really will be a very different, very transparent. Thank you for that. I just a question on the facilities. I know I'm on that committee, and we're going to be meeting soon. The walkthroughs, are they looking at everything? Like, you know, is it a comprehensive look, or are you sort of just focusing on certain?
It's more the tunnel. There's a
okay.
lot. When we started, we didn't have like these drawings of the tunnels. We did a 3D mapping. We have something now, but really just getting the contractors down there and really analyzing our tunnel is the biggest thing, and you know, deciding what's the correct way. The steam pipes, our water lines, our sewer lines. There are some lines that are in the 3D mapping we did that are abandoned. So really just kind of, it's a lot of the tunnels, and before we award anything else, we want to make sure we have the funding to do what we need to do in the tunnels. So we're still waiting to award everything, you know, because we don't want to award other well, the cameras and PA system has already been awarded. That's going forward. But with the roof and tunnels, we just want to make sure we can do everything. So there's a lot with the tunnel.
Got it. So it's more so structural rather than sort of
Yes.
add-ons at this
Yes.
point. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Minus the cameras.
Yes, cameras, PA system here is a go-ahead. They've already, you know, we're running with that. And as we do more budget presentations, we'll discuss the potential of including additional cameras in the budget that can be done alongside the capital project. So it'll be a discussion that we'll have.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Comments by the PTA? Susan's filling in tonight. Hi, Susan.
Hi, I'm Susan Mealy. I'm the PTA Vice President. I'm filling in for Sue Warnes, who couldn't be here. She's the president. I first want to start by congratulating Mr. Colasuno. I'm sorry he's not in the room anymore, but he has not only deserved this tenure for the reasons already stated, but he's been a phenomenal ally to the PTA and a true pleasure to work with. We couldn't do what we do in the middle school and high school without him. So I wanted to report on other things that have been going on, starting with our Community Service Committee, which has been very busy. In December, they organized a coat drive and collected about 80 coats for Bundles of Joy that were donated there. And then on January 23rd, the Community Service Committee organized the second annual Community Service Night at Cottle. It was open to grades 3 to 5. And the event fosters early commitment to volunteerism by bringing students in to participate in various activity stations where they could perform community service. And so there were 3 stations this time. At one station, the students packed up snack bags that were donated to Lifting Up Westchester and to ECAP. And that they packed up 200 snack bags, I should say. And they made 91 bookmarks to give to patients at White Plains Hospital to brighten their day. And they wrote 46 thank you letters to service members that were sent to United for the Troops. So that was that event, and it was the volunteer students from the middle school and high school helped at that event. So it's engaging students at every grade level in community service. And one day we hope they will join their children's PTA and serve on the Board of Ed. Also, the Community Service Committee is supporting Random Acts of Kindness Week this month. They're partnering with the Cottle GO on a cereal drive, collecting low-sugar cereals to donate to ECAP. And they're also providing backpack buttons to reward students who complete their kindness challenge boards. And then the last thing that that committee is up to is they are scheduling service opportunities for the middle school and high school students on February 19th at ECAP and on February 26th at Hope Community Services in New Rochelle. And information about those opportunities can be found through their new app that they use to communicate with students and families about opportunities. Then our Health and Safety Committee is continuing their series of community fitness nights with an event tomorrow at the Dance Gallery. There's going to be a bar effect class, and the Dance Gallery is owned by a Tuckahoe parent, so we're happy to be symbiotic there. And I think there's space available for tomorrow if anybody wants to join. It's open to parents and teachers in our district only. And then on March 3rd is the final one in the series at Transform Fitness. Our PARP committee is supporting the Books and Bites Club that our student representative reported on. So at that monthly initiative led by the librarian, the PTA will provide hot chocolate and munchkins as an incentive to participate. And then the Coddle Committee is working with Mr. Marash and Mr. Kilgallen on the next Kids Bingo Night, which is on February 13th at 6:30, and that is a free event, of course. It takes place in the cafeteria. We hope everybody will join. And our Building Bridges Committee is preparing to bring back that initiative. That program is one of our best received programs where we push into Coddle classrooms to help students learn about what it's like to live with different disabilities. And we rely on the volunteer efforts of community members. So information is going to go out seeking parents or caregivers, whoever, who can participate in that and make that possible. And training will be provided, so it's open to everybody. And I want to just mention that there are 3 things needed for the PTA to do everything that we do. One is the willingness of volunteers who serve on our executive board, and our nominating committee is in the process of starting to seek volunteers for next year, so be on the lookout for that. We are a very collegial board. We're always looking for new people, and we can help find a good fit for people who are not sure where they can fit in. The other thing that we need is money, and our Ways and Means Committee is hosting our next fundraiser this Thursday, which is Ladies Bingo Night. And I think there may be some tickets left, but that's just a fun excuse to get out in February and support the PTA and help us pay for all the programs that we do. And the third thing that we need in order to be successful is the support of our administration. And we have been extremely fortunate to have Dr. Goodman pulling for us. And in the time of your tenure, we have been increasingly welcome in both buildings, and we really feel the difference. And I know that our trustees also I don't have to sell you on the PTA. I know you guys also are very supportive, but we do hope that you'll consider PTA support as a criteria for our next superintendent, because we need volunteers, we need funds, and we need administrative support. And without those 3 things, we can't do what we do. Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you, Susan. I feel like cue to Dr. Goodman. We have the best PTA, yes, we
Yes.
do.
The next superintendent has to know to say that.
Just yesterday
And we have
we
the
were-
best school district, too. So and the best teachers, board, all
Thank
of
you,
that.
Susan. Thank you for all you do with PTA. That brings us to the first recognition of the audience. If anybody wants to go up and talk about agenda items only, any takers?
Beth Silvestri, is this on? It is? It doesn't,
It doesn't, yeah.
yeah, yeah. no.
Is it red? Is it red?
It is red, okay, okay. Beth Silvestri, 11 Gifford Street, Tuckahoe. I want to thank you, Faith, for a non-math person. You make this very understandable, so thank you. Thank you, Dr. Goodman, for those really kind words about Ben. That was really special. From a parent, before I get into the athletic council, I do want to ask you to add to your budget a district-wide literacy initiative. And I will email you offline. But it's something, we've been in the district for a long time. I'm on my way out, and this is something that we really, really need. So putting on my athletic council hat, this week we are celebrating Women in Sports Day. The communication went out. We will celebrate it Tuesday and Wednesday. We are displaying senior spotlights and banners to celebrate all of our athletic seniors. There will be a communication going out for March Dadness, which is a bracket-style basketball tournament for dads. That will be March 29th. Impressive, right, Scott? We are hosting the Wizards, which is a sold-out event on March 1st. And I really want to give a shout out to the teachers for participating and volunteering, because we could not do this without them. So thank you for giving up your own personal time to do this. It is a sold-out event, and kids really look forward to it. And I know he's gone, but I just wanted to go on record in saying, on behalf of the Athletic Council, we would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Mr. C on reaching this remarkable milestone. We are incredibly appreciative of his collaboration and dedication to the venture, but more than that, we are appreciative of his unwavering commitment to our students. Every action and decision he makes is student-centered, and I heard that from you constantly. His constant presence at every event not only showcases his dedication, but also makes him an integral part of the continued success of the Tuckahoe school community. So we just wanted to say congrats to Mr. C. We wish him many more years of making an impact. So thank you for celebrating him.
Thank you, Beth Ann, and thank you to you and everyone who is part of the Athletic Council. It's a wonderful addition to our district, and they've done some amazing things in a very short period of time, so thank you for that. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to business of the board. So the first thing on business of the board, first item on business of the board is a first reading of the policy 6150 for budget transfers, as was discussed. So I'm just going to read the policy. We are revising this policy to establish, oh, this isn't the policy, it's just explanation, right? Okay, sorry. So this is, thank you, okay. I'm dating myself. Oh my God, thanks. Okay, so this is what the policy is for. We are revising this policy to establish specific dollar amount thresholds for budget transfers, as our current policy does not set any limits. By defining a maximum transfer amount without prior board approval, we aim to ensure greater financial oversight while allowing for necessary budget adjustments during the school year. These revisions provide clarity on the approval process and align with best practices for fiscal management. The proposed changes were reviewed by the Audit and Finance Committee. So we don't vote on that, just an explanation. Okay. Approve disposal of public property. Resolved that the Board of Education, in accordance with Policy 6900, disposal of public property, declares the equipment listed below to be obsolete. So I am now going to read all these, right? Okay. We have to have a policy on we have to have change
policy,
the
yes,
policy
right.
on the policies. Okay. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Number one, 3D printer SN. Do I read all of these? I do. BBRA 9600 459 Flash Forge 3D printer Adventure 3 Lite. One 3D printer SN BBRA 9600515 Flash Forge 3D printer Adventure 3 Lite. One 3D printer SN BBRA 9600327 Flash Forge 3D printer Adventure 3 Lite. One 3D printer SN CCBB 9600594 Flash Forge 3D printer Adventure 3 Lite. One laminator SN S27C0401022 T09 School Smart 27 Deluxe. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education authorizes the disposal of the above by offering for sale to local municipalities or local nonprofit organizations, or sell at a public auction or sale. Otherwise, they will be recycled in the most environmental appropriate manner. Do I have a motion? Scott, second. Allison? Any comments? All in favor? Okay. Approve special education placements. Resolved that the Board of Education of Tuckahoe Union Free School District hereby approves the special education placements attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting on file in the district office. Do I have a motion? Therese, second. Allison. Discussion? All in favor? Okay, we already did the tenure. Personnel recommendations. Resolved that the Board of Education approves personnel recommendations A through M. Do I have a motion? Scott, second. Therese, discussions? Okay, all in favor? Okay, I think that brings us to second recognition of the audience. So this is on anything that's non-agenda item. Anybody like to come up? Nope? No takers, okay. So that takes us then to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Scott, second. Allison, all in favor? Great. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Have a good night.